Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday night portion of Week 5. Tonight, for the Thunder Throwdown Challenge Series, we are running the big block modifieds here at USA. I know they look a lot like the cars that you'd already seen out here earlier this week, but they do have more power than the 358s. And, sorry about that. More power than the 358s, but same body style. But with that, I would like to ask everybody to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of tonight's national anthem.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were blurred, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Again, this is the 358 big block modifieds for our Thunder Throwdown Challenge Series. Our in-race reporter for tonight will be the 64 of Matt Mateer. You got a copy, Matt?
Jay, how you doing?
I am doing all right. So I know Sunday and Monday nights we've seen this track really starting to get rough. How is the track starting to shape up now, and what are you expecting to see in the racing that we got coming up?
Well, I expect it to be some good tight racing. Definitely going to see which line will stick. I know it's starting to get rough in a little bit of turn 1 and 2, which is how we are sending the cars in a little sideways. But as I think the race progresses, you're definitely going to see a lot more guys start reverting to the grip to kind of continue the race smooth. And you know what they say, smoothest is faster. So especially with these cars, the smoother you are, the faster you're going to be.
All right. Yeah, definitely smooth is fast. As we got About 2 minutes left in practice here. We're going to quickly take a look at the Thunder Throwdown Challenge Series points. And up front, you got Michael Lonis. Second is the 008 of Bobby Evertson. Third is the 34 of Falcon Smith. Fourth is our in-race reporter, the 64 of Matt Mateer. And then fifth is Brian Gunderson. And Brian, if you're watching, I know you are out sick with the Rona. Hope you get feeling better soon, brother. But definitely sending our thoughts out to you, and hopefully we'll see you back on track soon. Got about a minute and a half showing 7 cars out here on track, or that have signed in for competition tonight. They are the 5 of Michael Lonis, the 008 of Bobby Everson, the 033 of Luke Rakowski, the 34 of Falcon Smith, the 64 of Matt Mateer, the 81 of Cheesecake Trenton Sneed, and the 225 of Chris Forsyth. That will be one heat. We will do the 3-wide Thunder thank you, and then it'll be a 25 lap feature. With the 64 of Matt Mateer.
Okay, so as you can see, I'm trying to work my way through turn 4 here, following the 033. Oh, just hit the checkered flag, but the approach on this right now, since it's flicking off, is to kind of set yourself real well, not as full much on the gas, and try to take it around as best as easy.
Starting to see some of those bumps forming, at least in turn 1 there.
Yes. Yes, they are definitely forming.
As we see the 64 starting to roll out on track right now. Gets the green flag for his first lap. 3/4 mile track. It takes a little bit for these guys to get around here.
Oh, it definitely does. But you know what? You got to watch how your entry is, because you've been going so fast down those straights. You got to really watch and be prepared on how you adjust and go into those corners.
And here comes Matt, lap number 1, a 22941, 22941 for Matt Mateer. Trenton Sneed completes his first lap at a 23052. Lonis now moves to quick time with a 22617. Matt Mateer on his second lap is slower, 23383 for lap number 2. Bobby Evertson's first lap puts him second quick at a 22639 as we watch him on lap number 2. Working down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Lap number 2 for Evertson. Slower, 22918. And we're going to see the 033 of Luke Rakowski take the green flag here. Chris Forsyth now moving up to second, 22591 for Forsyth.
That's a great run by Forsyth.
As here comes Rakowski out of turn number 4 to complete lap number 1. Lap 1 for Rakowski, second quick, 22 5:06, and quick time for the 34 of Falcon Smith at a 2:23.45. Oh, Rakowski, big flip down a back straightaway into turn number 3. Get the paramedics out there. He
What a
can't
great
even
job.
get the car flip pointed back the right direction. Oh, man. Big flip for Luke Rakowski. Definitely going to have to go to the backup car there. Looks like Luke is going to try to complete his lap. Completely crab walk down the front straightaway. And he gets it in. He puts it back on his side right after the checkered again. That car is definitely toast. Luckily, lap number 1 for Luke was a good one, putting him third quick. Your starting lineup for the heat race will be the 34 of Falcon Smith, the 5 of Easy Money Michael Lonis, the 33 of Luke Rakowski, the 225 of Chris Forsyth, the 008 of Bobby Evertson. 6th will be the 64 of Matt Mateer. And 7th will be the 81 of Trent Sneed.
It's definitely be funny, fun sitting that back there with Cheesecake. Definitely see what we can do with how the race continues to go. Now, when I ran my qualifying, I put it to the bottom part of the track, so it means that some of these guys have definitely found a good place to place the car and go from there. So definitely looking forward to heat, seeing how these guys are racing, how they're controlling the cars. Hopefully make some corrections as we continue on tonight.
As we got about 30 seconds left here, we are going to go for a ride in this 33. If you guys get nauseous easy, look away from your screens. This was big. Man. End over end, and then barrel rolls it. It looked like 2 to 3 times. All right, as we are ready for heat race action. Starting inside on your front row is that 34 of Falcon Smith to his outside, the 5 of Easy Money Michael Lonis. Inside row number 2 is the 33 of Luke Rakowski. To his outside should be the 225 of Chris Forsyth. He has not gridded yet. Inside row number 3 is the 008 of Bobby Evertson with the 64 of Matt Mateer to his outside. And then rounding out the field is the 81 of Trent Sneed. As we wait for there's Luke. That view so we can see when our 4th place sitter gets gridded here. Hopefully he does not miss the start.
There he goes.
There he is. All right. 7 cars, 8 laps for this heat race, which will determine the starting lineup for the feature. One thing I have noticed from this 34 is he likes to stay close to that pace truck. So look for a deep into turn 4 start. Unless he throws me for a loop this time around and holds back a little bit. Drivers are known to do that every now and then once.
It's all strategy.
They gotta show, they gotta do something else as soon as an announcer says something.
It's all strategy, Jay. We look to see what we can do to get the best start possible. If we know we can bunch them up and take off, to get that little bit of a extra divide to get us a little bit of space to go, that's what we're gonna do.
I fully believe in the announcer's curse, which is why I never pick anybody to actually win a race or do good in a race. So.
I was glad last year. Trent barely picked me, so that made me feel better because every time he'd always pick someone else, and I was doing a in car. He'd always pick someone else, and then they always wreck out, and I'm always put up to the top 5 because of it.
Yeah, I fully believe the announcer's curse is real. So. I call what I see and don't really pull for anybody.
Well, here we go. We're coming into turn 3, ladies and gentlemen. Coming into this green.
Here they're in turn 3. Now in turn 4. Pace truck is off, and it's hammer time. 34 off to about a car length lead down the front straightaway. As they are bumper to bumper for that second, but here comes Lonus trying to fight to the high side of the 34. Can't quite get there. But they're side by Luke and Bob are side by side with Forsyth in the mix, trying to make this 3 wide for third. As they drag race down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Rakowski up high. Little bit of run as Bobby slides up in front of him. Rakowski right there on the bumper of that 008, but Bobby able to hold on to it. Rakowski following right there in the tire tracks of Everton. Forsyth in the tire tracks of Rakowski. A little further back, you got the 81 of Trenton Sneed that has worked his way around the 64 of Matt Mateer. As we go back up front, and that's still about the same there. The 5 just following the 34 around, trying to find a way around him. As we get ready to come to halfway, they're bumper to bumper. 34 slips up. Lonus not quite able to make a run as we hit the halfway mark. Really starting to see those bumps show up like they did in the 358s. As the 25 of Forsyth has gotten around Rakowski, now he's working on Everton. Looks like Forsyth working that high side. Rakowski trying to work back down low. So you can definitely see that track getting choppy again. At least through turns 1 and 2. Now, Forsyth trying to work low of Everton. But here comes the 033 through the grass. Almost goes the 225 getting into turn 1. Everybody keeps it pointed the right direction. Tried throwing one heck of a dive in there. Didn't quite make it happen. You see the leaders come by. They're still single file. No change there. Bumper to bumper, though, as they dive down into turn number 1. They've started to spread out a little bit for that third position. As here comes your leader through turns number 3 and 4. As Falcon Smith will take your heat win. Second place goes to 5 of Michael Lonus. Third, the 008 of Bobby Everson. Fourth, the 245 of Chris Forsyth. Fifth, the 033 of Luke Rakowski. Sixth, the 81 of Trenton Sneed. And then rounding out the field was the 64 of Matt Mateer.
I had a little bit of bad luck.
I didn't even pick you.
What? I know, that was the thing. I had bad luck. So as I started, my right went right into the wall, and I went right into the wall and forced Trent up, and he went to low side, and from there I tried catching people, just couldn't.
All right. As we see him getting ready to roll out on track now. get them lined up 3 wide for the 3 wide Thunder. Thank you. Coming down the back straightaway. Ladies and gentlemen, here they come out of turn number 4. They're 3 wide to tell each and every one of you thank you for the support and views. It's the 3 wide Thunder. Thank you. And we'll go ahead and let them burn the track off a little bit more. That way it can get a little bit racy. I will step aside, let Matt have this, and let you guys enjoy the corners as they run this track in for about 4 minutes.
You can tell already. To turns 1 and 2, you can see the chop. I'm gonna go over it right now. You can see the car really bouncing up and down, staying towards that low side. I'm trying to keep up. Now Bobby's already caught me, so he's gonna come into my inside, force me up. See how he's already throw the slide job coming across, but since I was off the gas, I can come up and underneath him. Alright, now I got Lonus on my tail. He's going to try to slide me. He's going to force me up even higher as I'm trying to take this nice clean line around. I was actually able to stay out in front. He's got me on the low side still in my back left quarter panel. As things progress, the track is definitely still slick there at the bottom. But definitely looks like the place to be if I want to keep momentum's that high side. Guys are definitely trying to send in as much as in as possible to keep low, and then they can do a good runoff going down the stretch. Trying to figure out how to send these cars without putting too much pressure. They know they're going to lose all that steadiness. If they do, they might allow the car to wreck.
About a minute and a half left here in the warm-up, and your fast time right now is the 2:25 at Chris Forsyth. Only 6 100ths or 6 1,000ths of a second quicker than the 34 of Falcon Smith, and we got a big wreck. See the 5 and the 33 involved. 81 flipping. How many cars that Rakowski family brought to the track tonight, because they're on their at least 3rd car that I know of as of right now.
Well, these vehicles especially, if you get that wheel into the wall, you're going to be going for a ride. It's going to flip you up and down, left and right. I mean, I've proved it in the heat, especially when I dug my front right end, so really did not help. However, I do feel like if I throw this in the slick hard enough, I will gain some advantage of getting some speed, but I don't know.
As we get ready to wrap up the warm-up and get ready to go feature racing 25 laps. Definitely see that bottom side slicking it up quite a bit, and lots of bumps down there. Do you think that's going to allow? I mean, we've seen some side-by-side racing there in the heat race. Do you think we're going to see more of it in the feature?
It might line itself out a little bit. It just depends on who's able to keep a good bearing down on the low side. It is definitely very bumpy, but it's also slicked off. So guys aren't going to have as much grip. But when it comes to the first turn, you're definitely going to see some guys that are going to run that low side pretty damn well. But once the speed starts to pick up, and grip becomes more of a factor. You're definitely going to see guys start to flow up more to the high line to kind of keep momentum.
Right. Your starting lineup for the A feature. The 34 of Falcon Smith starting inside that front row to his outside. The 5 of Michael Easy Money Lopez. Inside row number 2, the 008 of Bobby Everson. With his teammate, the 225, Chris Forsythe, to his outside. Inside row number 3, rolling off from the 5th position is the 033. The 33R of Luke Rukowski. And to his outside, the 81 of Trenton's Cheesecake Sneed. And then rounding out the field is our in-race reporter tonight, the 64 of Matt Mateer.
Yeah, guys are definitely planning as to how they want to attack these first few turns with the cars that they have next to them. And so you see the amount of slick going into turns 1 and 3, and how it shortens itself in 2 and 4. So we might see guys actually try to go in low and then slide up into 2 and 4 to catch that grip and then adjust themselves out.
And one thing that we'd been seeing, and now, mind you, they were the more entry-level cars, but something that we've seen a lot Sunday and Monday night was more of a cut-down or diamond line, where they'd run high through about the center of the turn and then grab that gravity coming off to shoot them down the straightaway. Not so sure you'll see that with these higher-powered big blocks, but something to look for the guys that ran the other classes earlier this week.
Well, you're not wrong. Turn 1 and 2 definitely has the capability to do that. I think 3 and 4, it's more of a slider line.
Pace truck is off, and it's hammer time for the feature. They drag race for the lead down the front straightaway. Now the 34 of Falcon Smith able to get a little bit of an advantage. The 008 of Bobby Everson sticking his nose to the inside of the 5 of Lonis as those two drag race for second down the back straightaway. They're side by side into turn number 3. Everton.
Trent Sneed got to the wall in the start of the race. He's now in the back of the pack. We don't see him right now.
Trent has towed. Not sure what happened there, other than he did get in the wall apparently. But up front, your top 3, bumper to bumper into turn number 3. As now Everton sticking his nose to the high side, and here's that cut down line trying to grab some gravity off of turn number 4. Can't quite get there. As Forsythe trying to stick his nose into this 3-way battle for the lead. As now Everton on the inside of Lonis as they're door-to-door one more time into turn number 3. Everton thinking about a slider, can't quite do it, getting pinched down a little bit by Lonis. Smart move by Lonis, not giving that 008 to Everton any room. Everton catching the bump, getting into 1, slides up, barely caught the nose of that 5 Lonis, as now Everton has second. Lonis dives down low at Everton into turn 3 and 4. And now the top 4 all right there together. Lonis hits that bump. Almost slides up into that 225. That bump in turn number 1 is going to be a treacherous part of this track, I believe. As we're seeing drivers trying to get to the inside and hitting that bump big time down there. As they pretty well got it single filed out up front. So we will run through the field. Up front leading with 5 laps down, coming to 6 down, is the 34 of Falcon Smith. Second, now, Lonis looking to the inside of him, though, the 008 of Bobby Everson. The 5 of Mike Easy Money Lonis is running third, little bit of contact, trying to make a move for second, coming down the back straightaway. backs out of it, lets everybody regain. Fourth is the 225 of Chris Forsythe. And right there with Forsythe is the 33R of Luke Rukowski. Sixth is Matt Mateer.
And the 81 is out of tonight's running.
Your battle now is a 3-car one for this third spot. Right now, Lonis has it. The 225 and 33R are right there. Here comes Forsythe looking to the outside of Lonis. Rukowski looking to the inside of Forsythe. Now Forsythe looks low, then back up high. Now he's cutting back down, trying to grab that gravity off of turn number 2, and it works. He's side by side, up by about a door, getting into turn number 3. Slide job, crossover. Drag race down the front straightaway. Lonis with the third place that time by. Lonis catching that big bump into turn number 1. And now these 3 cars have caught your second place running, Bobby Evertson, as they run side by side for that 4th spot. Lonis working the inside of Rukowski. Now trying to get to the inside of that 225. Lonis is going to have to tug in behind Rukowski, as now here comes Forsythe trying to work around Evertson. Forsythe looks low, has to back out of it. As Rukowski now dives to the inside of the Forsythe. Catching that bump into 1. Really got to watch that bump into 1. It looks like if you hit that bump getting into turn number 1, it cost you a lot of time. As the 225 of Forsythe trying to find some speed up on the high side to run back down the 008 of Evertson. As the 33 and the 5 of Lonis back here battling for this 4th position, as they have now started to single file out. Everybody pretty well single file. Falcon Smith about 2 seconds ahead of these 4 cars. As they jockey around, try to find any advantage they can over the driver in front of them. See them really fanned out, taking a bunch of different lines from corners. Nothing really seems to be too much quicker than anything else, as long as you avoid the bump getting into turn number 1. Evertson does not. That allows Forsythe to his outside. Evertson able to hold him off. Evertson slides up to block. That makes Forsythe roll out of the gas and almost fall back into the clutches of Rukowski. Forsythe once again working all over the back of that 008 of Evertson. Rukowski right there, not letting him out of sight. And the 5 of Lonis not letting Rukowski out of sight. And now Forsythe trying to look low at Evertson, but moves high in turn 1. Little bit of contact as Evertson slides up in front of Forsythe. Looks like Evertson has it in full block mode, kind of figuring out where Forsythe is wanting to run. I think Forsythe might have a little bit of a quicker car, just can't get around him. As Rukowski now right back onto the bumper of Forsythe. Lonis still right on the back bumper of Rukowski. It's once again a 4-way battle for the 2nd position. Forsythe diving low on the front straightaway that time. Not sure what happened there. But they keep it all going straight. As Everson really cutting down on it. Just a handful to go. Here comes Forsyth, looking a little bit low. Looks like Forsyth got a little loose. Rakowski not able to capitalize on that. Your leader, Falcon Smith, almost 2.5 seconds out. As everybody, once again, in flagpole formation. But now, here comes Forsyth to the high side of the double away to Everson. Everson with a slight advantage getting into 3. Everson working low. Forsyth working high through 4. Who's going to have the run coming out of 4? It's Everson. Forsyth looking like he might try to go low. Ends up tucking back in behind him. Now Forsyth, not quite a run coming out of 2 that he wanted. Here comes Rakowski to the inside of Forsyth. 2 laps to go for your leader. They drag race for 3rd. Give the nod to Forsyth that time by. Rakowski still working low. Now Forsyth trying to work high in the 008. Can't quite get it. And here comes Lonis to the high side of Rakowski. Lonis. Drag race. Lonis has Rakowski at the line that time by. Forsyth still up here trying to work on the 008 to Everson. The white flag is in the air. It's do or die time as they go into turn number 3 for Forsyth. Not going to be able to do it as Everson holds on to the 2nd spot. Forsyth brings home 3rd. The 5 of Michael Lonis brings home 4th. The 33R of Rakowski finishes 6th. Or 5th, and Matt Mateer finishes 6th. All right, looked like you were struggling a little bit there, Matt. It was, I mean,
Not my night.
the track that rough out there? Or?
Well, I couldn't figure the track. You had, I barely run these cars with the extra horsepower, so it kind of, I'm not used to this car, and so I think these guys had a little bit of a leg up on figuring out because I could not figure as to how they're able to run through that slick so cleanly at the same time, not lose all that momentum and keep that, keep that speed going in out of turns 2 and 4. So that was kind of a little bit of my downfall, is trying to figure the car out at the same time as just try to keep as much momentum going on with some of these sets.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like this track ended up shaping up a whole lot like the track did Sunday night for the 358 race, with it being really, really rough down through the corners.
It definitely was. I mean, if you overturned or did anything, you're going to just completely spin yourself out. So it definitely was there towards the late of the race. It was no brainer that you actually had run higher, because it definitely opened you up to putting you on your side and potentially putting you at a loss. And you lose so much momentum, especially if it gets you squirrely.
Right. Well, we appreciate your time, Matt, and I'm sure we will be talking to you again later. We do have the winner and everybody else coming into the waiting room now, so.
Have a good one, Jay.
You too. Bye. All right, that was your in-race reporter, the 64 of Matt Mateer. Now we are going to go ahead and bring up our race winner, the 34 of Falcon Smith. You got a copy, Falcon?
Yeah, I got you, Jay.
Man, what an amazing show you put on. Not a ton of TV time when you lead them that way, and you're talking about a 4-car battle for second place the whole race. So,
yeah.
I think with 3 or 4 to go, I looked up and you were 2.5 seconds out. What was the secret to being able to get out there so far and pretty much be untouchable tonight?
Well, that's kind of the key thing here at USA. You got to get a get a good starting spot, get a clean start, be able to race the track instead of everybody else. Was able to search around, kind of went from the low line to a slider line, and to kind of miss some of the bumps in 1 and 2, kind of going in high and running a cut down. So really technical track, especially when in these big cars when it gets bumped up a little bit. You just got to be able to race the racetrack and not race everybody else, and you can get out and gap everybody a little bit.
And then I have slept since Sunday, but did you run the 358 Sunday night?
Yeah, I won that one too, so did pretty good in the modifieds this week.
How is the track compared to Sunday night? I know up here in the booth it looks a lot the same.
Yeah, it was pretty similar. We had it slick off a little more than we did on Sunday night with the 358s, but just made it a little more technical, a little more racing. So glad to see some good racing back there with those guys.
Yeah, definitely always like to see it in your mirror and not around you. So when you can put the good racing in your mirror, it's a good night for you.
Right.
Roll into drawing a blank on the name of the track.
We're going to Limaland next week.
Yes, Limaland. I knew it started with an L. It was right there, but yeah, Limaland next week. How do you feel about your chances there?
We'll be just as good as anybody, I think. I think we've shown here over the last couple of weeks we can run with these guys. So pretty good to get out there and be able to put on a show.
All right. Any sponsors, shout outs, anybody you want to thank for getting you here tonight?
ML Performance SSR for the setups. Bad Fast as always. Appreciate you guys putting this deal on here at TRL. Always fun racing with you guys. Thanks, Jay.
All right. I appreciate you coming out because without you drivers, there wouldn't be a league. So I appreciate you coming out and showing your support. And congratulations on another W.
Yep, appreciate that. Have a good night.
You too. All right. That is your winner, Falcon Smith. And bringing home second place tonight. He's very familiar up here in the booth. The 008 of Bobby Everton. Walk us through your night, and how hard was it to hold off Chris Forsyth? Yeah, we'll start off with how hard was it to hold off Chris?
Okay.
And everybody else.
All right. Well, congratulations to Falcon. He was gone. I don't know. Again, you obviously know these cars are kind of outside of my realm, so just trying to learn them. I know Lones was, I believe he's beating me in points, so I just wanted to stay close to him. I think he made a little bobble or mistake, and I was able to get around him. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Hopefully there's no bad blood if I did something, but yeah, riding behind Falcon, I saw Forsyth start creeping up. I'd gain a little, I'd lose a little, gain a little, I'd lose a little. But I remember from the 358 mods Monday, I'm not going to give him the opening this time, so I made sure I didn't. And thankfully he didn't push the issue and just move me on his own, so ended up with a P2, and all in all, it's pretty fun. Again, congratulations to Falcon, and hopefully I didn't do anything foul to get second place.
It didn't look like it from here. I mean, that was really close racing between. Really, it was a 4-car battle for second position.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I saw in my rear view, like I was hoping I could pull a little bit ahead of the guys because I saw Forsyth was on the outside, Lonas was on the inside, and they were battling.
Was in that mix too, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Luke's right behind them, but I still didn't pull away, so I'm like, oh God, you know.
And then I guess the second thing, and I think I already know the answer, but is there anything you could have done to catch and get around Falcon?
Yeah, of course. Could have wrecked him.
Well, there's that whole catching him first, though.
Oh, no. I just spin the car around and go backwards. Come on now. Yeah, no, there's nothing. He was checked out. He was dialed in. He's definitely far better than I am at these big body cars, and I think a lot of my problem that I need to hone in and learn is get a little overzealous with the throttle, I think, in these things. Um, or I'm not aggressive enough. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it just sounds like there's too much wheel spin, so I want to kind of half throttle it through the corners, and then I see people coming up behind me or someone in front of me is running away, so I'll get on it harder and they just run away more or they catch me more. So I I think it's kind of a mental game. You just gotta figure them out. That's what this whole series is about, is figuring out new cars, how to drive them. At least that's what I'm doing. I know nothing about these, so but I'm looking forward to sprint cars. There'll be no excuses when it comes to those.
You know, you say you know nothing about these, but you're leading that 358 championship, and these cars, although not the same, these do have a little bit more power. Right? They drive quite a bit alike from my experience. So,
Well, that doesn't mean nothing, Jay. I mean, I get lucky sometimes, that's all.
so roll into Lima Land next week. How do you feel about your chances there?
I'm really looking forward to it being a smaller track. These I think we've had a couple big tracks consecutively, right? Might have been
Yeah,
Eldora previously, Knoxville maybe. I can't remember
we've
what it
had
was, but
three. We went um, Eldora, Charlotte. Let me double check, just make sure. But I believe it was Eldora, Charlotte, and now USA.
all right, yeah, we've been running the really big tracks, which I think it'll be a lot more fun running smaller tracks, especially a track like Lima Land where I think there'll be several lane choices you can use and different places you can put the car to try to find speed, grip. I think there'll be more slide job opportunities. And what do you know what car we're in next week?
Next week is the 305s.
Ah, Jesus. Okay, well, I guess I feel pretty confident, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Race with a lot of good guys, so it could be anyone's race really. But I think for all the different types of cars that we're running this season, Lima Land's going to be good mixing it up in the 358s. I think midget cars, everything. These bigger tracks are more designed toward the high horsepower, like the big blocks tonight. I could see running there, but the more underpowered cars, entry level cars, I don't see as good a racing at these really big tracks. So I think next week will be interesting. You'll see some good racing.
Right. Yeah, I mean the racing even at these big tracks hasn't disappointed too much.
Oh,
Um,
they've been close.
yeah, leaders pulled away here out here at USA without a doubt. Um,
Yeah.
all
Yep.
five
Whoever.
races this week, the leaders gotten out front and pulled away, but that second on back has been a battle. So
Yeah, you got the one guy that really figures it out. I think it was Falcon, both of my big body cars this week. So
yep,
he's obviously got this place a little bit figured out. And
yeah,
he's obviously a good driver and knows what he's doing. Seems to be clean. So it's just a pleasure racing with these guys with respect. And I hope it continues and we can just have some good, hard, clean racing to finish out the season.
yeah, definitely. Next week marks the halfway point, and then we get our little break for Halloween, and then back at it for a couple weeks as we get into the holiday season. Um,
Oh, yeah.
definitely, after 6 hard weeks, you guys have earned a break. So, definitely looking forward to Lima Land next week. And let's get your sponsors and shout outs.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Um, I've never done this before. It's my first time. I'd like to thank the old lady, obviously, number one, for allowing me the time to do this and not putting my balls in a jar. Black Bullet Racing, my race team. A bunch of us in this league and several leagues, and a bunch of us running in the World of Outlaw qualifiers right now. So good luck to everyone there. Du Bois Welding, Derek G LLC. Big shout out to Giddings Mobile Repair, Debbie, Nuke's Performance, and big thanks to you just for putting on the league and doing these broadcasts, kind of expanding your horizon. We appreciate all the hard work that goes in.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, and I say it all the time. Without you drivers, there wouldn't be a league. So I appreciate your support and you guys showing up every week.
Yes, sir. We'll try to keep building.
All right. I'm sure we will talk to you again.
Yes, sir. Gonna try.
All right. That was your second place finisher, Bobby Evertson. And then rounding out the podium is the 225 of Chris Forsyth. You got a copy, Chris? Got a copy, Chris? Give him a little bit here. See if he might have just stepped away from the mic for a second. Maybe ran to the trailer really quick, started writing down all of his sponsors. For those of you that are watching, how many races should we give Forsyth getting on this podium? How many more races should we give him the excuse of he doesn't get out here, he doesn't get interviewed enough to know his sponsors? All right, while we wait for Chris, though, I am going to bring up and get a piece of business out of the way. And that is coming up November 11th. Oh, there he is. All right, we'll go ahead and hold that off. All right. Walk us through your night and that amazing battling that you had with really the 4-car battle for second place there. You, Evertson, Lonis, and Rakowski.
Yeah, it was tough. I was stuck in a hard spot. I didn't want to ruin Bobby's points, but I felt I was a little quicker than him. I mentioned that to him pre-interview. He probably would have found something to catch me anyway, but being the trail car, as you know, it makes things easier because you can find different spots and work different areas and just try to figure out what's working. But I think at that point I was faster, but I did not want to take him out. And Lomas is always going to be hard. I'm surprised he wasn't up there early and battling for P1. But shout out to the winner, man. He dominated. He just walked away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys would have ended up having a late race caution there. Do you think that would have allowed anybody to catch him, or do you think he was just gone no matter what would have happened?
I think it might have changed things because Bobby could have studied what he was doing, and I was already studying what Bobby was doing and trying to find lines as well because we're all fixed setups, so we got to find what the track's going to give us. So I think it may have made it more interesting at the end, but in all reality, I mean, he found what worked and just walked away. Honestly.
All right. I haven't gotten any comments yet. Well, before we get to that, how do you feel about your chances next week for any racing you might do at Limaland?
I'm hoping to keep racing these, man. I love it. I love racing with the league, and unfortunately, the race control has dampened my racing ability and privileges. But I want to make sure the league succeeds as well. So, you know, if the league needs race control, I'm going to try to step up if I can. But Limaland, that's a short track. It's tough. There's a lot of cars going through it. if I were to race, obviously I think I choose the sprint car because that's my comfort. But it is a wild ride for majority feet the fast side. And it's a fine line between hitting the wall and losing your race. So I don't know, just play it by ear. If we can continue this, no live admin, short car count, I would love to continue racing and just not hurt anybody and just race and try to do what I can. But if more than 12 cars show up, then obviously we need a live admin and do the right thing and make the race run consistent and smooth. So I will more than likely just bow down and allow the race to run as smooth as it can.
All right. Yeah, hopefully we can see in a few more races. I would prefer that we end up getting both, more than 12 cars and the actual people to step up and help you and Mark out there in race control. But I am glad to see you at least in a car a little bit this season. With that being said, let's get your sponsors and shout outs out of the way. I asked the people earlier how many more of these interviews we're going to allow you to do and keep using the I don't get up here enough excuse that you've been using.
I know. I looked at it earlier. I was like, damn, I ran 4 races with TRL, or maybe it's 5 with TRL, and one time I did not podium. Unfortunately, it's been a low car count, so it's helped me, but I should be more prepared. So, as of right now, and I have asked my team to clarify, and they have not yet, but as of right now, I see that, of course, our team, Black Bullet Racing, I think we have Admin Box as a sponsor currently. Derek G LLC is a sponsor. Mimi's Making Motions is a sponsor. Du Bois Welding is a sponsor. Giddings Mobile Repair, as yourself, as a sponsor. Getting Hooked and W and CTFX is all our sponsors.
All right. Well, congratulations on another podium, and definitely looking forward to talking to you some more.
Yeah, if I get out there, man, I will run. I want to race first and talk later, but I will do whatever I got to do for the league.
All right. Yeah, hopefully we can definitely get you out there and get you out on the track a little bit more. So.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I really wanted to battle Bobby more than what happened, simply because we had some good coverage for you and the broadcast side of it. I couldn't make it happen with the big block. I think I found something, but I did not want to hurt him in the process.
Oh, it was definitely some good battling between the top, well, second through fifth. There was awesome racing. Definitely some good footage.
Yeah, it was close. We were all close together, but there wasn't no back and forth. No sliders and no position changes. I probably could have forced it more with Bobby, but it would have hurt possibly him, myself, or helped Lonus. I think Lonus was 4th, right?
Yeah, Lonus came home 4th, and Rakowski was 5th, but he was right there with you guys as well. So.
Yeah, but I didn't want to push it too much. I know Bobby, as a teammate, he's in the points run, and I'm not going to try to hurt nobody. I felt bad for the other night getting to Robbie. I don't want to hurt nobody because I'm not in the points. I'm just here to run and have fun, and if I finish well, I do. It is what it is.
But you keep getting these podiums before you know it, you are going to be in the points. So.
Right? I mean, good things may happen.
Congratulations once again, and we will talk to you later.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, that was your 3rd place finisher, Chris Forsyth. And now we will go back to this side of business. That is the 3rd annual Salute to Our Veterans 100. That is Friday, November 11th. Lobby opens at 7 p.m. Central. Super late models at Port Royal. This year, veterans are free. League members are $5. That is if you are a registered Season 3A driver. It is $5. Everybody else is $10. Half of that money is donated to the Veteran and Warriors One-Stop Shop, and the other half goes to payouts to the drivers. If you guys look on that bottom right side of that flyer, you will see the Veterans Crisis line. Guys, if you're thinking about committing suicide or need somebody to talk to, call that number. It is 1-800-273-8255 and then press 1. All right, they're going to get you help. They're going to talk to you. They're going to do what needs to be done. We are at 22 veterans a day taking their own lives. And after everything that these veterans have been through and everything that we've seen, done, all of that, that's not the way to go out. Get the help you need, and you'll be helped. Veterans and Warriors One-Stop Shop, they are a nonprofit organization that is geared towards helping end veteran suicide. That is why we have, here at Thunder Racing League, have decided to partner up with them, because we would like to see that 22 a day turn to 0. Again, that is Friday, November 11th at 7 p.m. It will be 60 cars maximum for that lobby. There is no cap on entries. We will take as many. Okay, I take that back. We are going to cap them at 240 entries. So we can run up to 4 prelims if necessary. But we are trying to raise as much money as we can. So please go ahead and get signed up for that. Get a hold of me or look in the Discord for how to register for that. And with that, now we move on to our sponsors. We've already talked about Veterans and Warriors One-Stop Shop. Proud partner. You know, we're proud to be partnered with them and love their mission. Diamond Designs, they are giving each champion a free wrap at the end of the season. So that's 5 wraps valued at $20 a piece. So that's over $100 worth of wraps that they are giving. School of Sim Racing providing all our fixed setups for anything they make a setup for. They are the setups that are in these cars. Stevenson Family Performance is a monetary backer of Thunder Racing League. Check them out on Facebook, Stevenson Family Performance. Giddings Mobile Repair, another financial backer of Thunder Racing League. You can check them out on Facebook as well, Giddings Mobile Repair LLC. Your automotive and commercial vehicle repair that comes to you in and around Tulsa, serving a 60-mile radius of Tulsa. And last but not least, we would like to thank Trenton Cheesecake Sneed and Sneed Game Farms for giving out the Dedicated Driver Award. That award is a cash prize that goes to the driver with the most attempted starts across all 5 series. And with that, we would like to say thank you. Have a good night, and we will see you back Sunday night at Limaland for the Tyler Wolf Memorial.